Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, the Corvette is still on lift, but we actually won't be working on the car today. We'll be working on a part for the car, but not the car itself. And as you guys can see behind me, we actually have that glass top that we picked up several weeks ago in that parts run where that guy was parting out his C6 Corvette. So this is actually the first time I've had the top out on display and then I can see the whole thing. So this top's actually in pretty good shape. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but oh yeah, you can see it in the camera. There's definitely a ton of watermarks on here. So we're gonna try to resolve that today with various processes. And then the second thing is, there actually are no clips up front here, and there are no hooks in the back right here. So this top in the way it currently sits is not usable. And what I mean by that is it won't stay hooked into the car. Yes, I could set it in the car on top. With them missing these little hooks in the back, I would not be able to put it on the car and securely latch it. So here's those rear clips that I was talking about. And as you guys can see, it's simply a kind of a hook, and it's got a threaded end on the back, and there's a little bit of a plastic washer. So what you're gonna do with these, simply just put it on the hole and tighten it down. So we're just gonna hand tighten this one, and these things should go in pretty quickly. Here you go, that one tightened down. And this back one, again, make sure you get it in and start to tighten it. Now the one thing that I would caution you on is be careful when you're putting those into the threaded hole, because that one, the passenger side one here, just tried to cross thread a little bit. So I just pulled it back out, lined it up, and got it tight. And basically what I'm gonna do is, I think that's a 13mm socket. I'm just gonna put a deep socket on it and hand tighten it, because that thing doesn't need to be super tight. And I don't even think there's a torque spec. I think it's just, you know, tight enough. So those back clips were actually a 15mm bolt, not a 13. Thought it might be a 14, but no, it's actually a 15. We're all the way tight, and like I said, all I did was take my 1/2-inch drive wrench with my 15 deep on it, put it on both sockets, and just tightened it. Now for the front, those little holes that we were talking about, this missing trim right here. So I actually have both of those clips. It's part number 15779604, 15779605. It says right on it whether it's right or left, so left, assuming that's from the driver's seat. And that was the part number ending in 9604. And then the right, this was part number 9605. That'll be the passenger side. So the clips on the very front here, you kind of just push them in. There's a main tab on the bottom, you get that in, and then a little tab on the top, you can push that in. So as you guys can see, the clip is installed here and installed here. So we're actually ready now to put this on the car. But like I was showing you earlier, we've got a ton of wet spots on here. So what we're gonna do is clay bar this, polish it, and then put a sealant on it. I don't think we're gonna do any wax or anything like that. I think we're just gonna do clay, polish, sealant, and that should be it. And if the polish doesn't work, I do have compound that I could do, and we'll try that. And if you guys already noticed, I've already taped off the rubber seals on the end, so we should be good. So let's go ahead, get this thing detailed. So I just finished clay barring it. I used my little clay barring pad. I'm not really sure where that clay barring pad is from. I'll have a link in the description down below. I'm pretty sure I can find that. But we did the initial clay bar and it smoothed it out a bit, but honestly guys, there's still really hard rain spots, watermark spots on it. So, and yes, it is streaked. It's because I just kind of finished wiping it off. So the first thing we're gonna do today is actually use some paint correcting polish. This is from Adams. This is kind of their 3-stage setup that we've used all along. And so this is kind of their first step in their 3-paint system. I believe it's paint correcting polish, then it's just the polish, and then it's your machine sealant, something like that. It's been a few years since I've done any of these steps, so this is actually kind of good that we're getting back into this. So we'll use this on a medium pad and then go from there. So I finished the paint correcting polish over here, kind of I did almost the driver's front, and it is smoother, but man, you can still see these acid etchings on here. So we're actually gonna go ahead and go back a step and grab my rubbing compound, try that first, then try the polish, and then we'll see if this works, because I'm afraid that paint correcting polish just isn't coarse enough. to get this glass, you know, to get that cleaned off. So we'll try the rubbing compound next and see where this goes. So you will see that I did the whole top in rubbing compound. And unfortunately, guys, you can still see the water, hard water spots that's all over this glass. So that kind of sucks, but I wasn't gonna go through this whole process. I think what I'll do is, I think I'll put polish on it, I'll put the sealant on it, just, you know, slick it off real nice, and then we'll stick it on the car, because I don't have any chemicals or tools that will, I think that will defeat this acid etch. I'm gonna have to do more research. Alright guys, we have finished polishing this roof out and we have it fully installed. And guys, this thing looks pretty dang good. Yes, there's a spot in the middle. Thought I'd clean that, but we'll get that. But this roof looks fantastic on the dark car. I wasn't quite sure how this roof was gonna look with a blue car, but man, that looks really good. Now, don't pay attention to the rest of the car. This car hasn't been cleaned in probably 4 or 5 months, but man, that roof looks awesome. I was actually considering getting my factory fiberglass roof wrapped, but you know, even that, depending I don't do it myself, you're gonna spend just a couple $100 getting that thing wrapped. A, due to material, and B, due to labor. So, you know, you're a couple $100 into a roof wrap, and I actually didn't spend much more for this glass top, so that's kind of cool. Also, one more thing. The brackets and the end piece, I think I only spent like, I spent less than $50 on all that. Yeah, it's kind of expensive for what it is, but now I can swap either roof on at any moment that I want to. But let's go ahead inside the car and show you what it looks like. So this is what the roof looks like on the inside. It's obviously looks like it's black from the outside, but on the inside it's just this dark blue look, and man guys, it actually looks pretty fantastic. And I think you can actually still see the water spots looking at it through the light, but that's all right. So for a couple $100, we have completely changed the look of this car. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to actually like the roof when I put it on, but man, yeah, I actually really do. And the other benefit, to be honest guys, I think this glass roof is actually lighter than the fiberglass roof. I don't know how that makes sense, but when you physically lift each roof, you can definitely tell that this glass roof is lighter. So maybe we keep it in for the pursuits of drag racing? Maybe? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And the other thing is, I haven't had the roof out in this car in probably like 4 or 5 years. So being able to see the sky is completely different and kind of a game changer. Now, I'm not saying I would get rid of my fiberglass roof at all. No, I would never do that. I'd keep it. I think, as a matter of fact, to store it, I think I'm actually going to put it in the trunk. I do have that bag and whatnot, but I don't have a good solution to hang that on the wall right now. I'm kind of indecisive of what I want to do with the shop, whether I go buy tire racks and throw all my spare wheels on the wall, or, you know, I just don't have a good racking system right now. So maybe we do that in the future. But I think for now, we're going to keep the glass roof in. We'll put the fiberglass roof in the trunk and go from there. So, all right, guys, as I said, we're going to store this roof in the back. And I think you guys might be able to see from here just to see how dirty this car is. So, but yeah, we'll take care of that once we finish up the swaps and all that. And there you go. Roof's closed. Trunk is closed. Our battery tender's charged, and we should be good. All right, guys, and there you go. That is the official roof swap for the Corvette. You know, I hope this video wasn't too long. We're kind of showing you what we needed to do to get this roof panel working with those rear studs in the back, those kind of plastic clip things up the front, and then we polished out the roof. Well, we attempted to. It looks clean, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, the water stains are still there, so I'll have to look into that. But that's gonna be a project for future down the road. As you can see, the car is super torn apart, and heck, the driver's side fender is still off the car. So if you guys want to see that polishing video and trying to get that thing cleaned up, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to know when I upload new content, make sure you turn on your bell notifications button down below. And also, if you want to help support the channel, click all the links down below. I'll try to have the clips and pins and all that stuff, as well as the polishing stuff that we used for today. And also check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.